easing the overcrowding in our jails, swapping out inmate sentences for work, for jobs. The executive director of TEAM is here to talk about minimizing the sentences of some inmates to later empower them for the future. Chris Steele with TEAM, which is the Education and Employment Ministry, also former Oklahoma Speaker of the House, is here to talk about just that. Chris Steele, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Thank you for having me this morning.
All right, Chris, so we'll start with this, the obvious question here. If someone is convicted of a crime, why change their sentence from jail time to work?
Well, first of all, I think we have to consider the nature of the crime, and when it comes to low-level offenders, I would say that we need to be able to differentiate between the person who truly poses a risk to public safety or a danger to the community versus the low-level offender who just may need some help through treatment or mental health care or something of that nature. And I think it's important that we have the space and resources available to contain or detain those who are truly dangerous versus those who would be able to be out in the community and actually participate in some sort of restoration.
Can you define really quickly what you mean by low-level offender? A lot of people are confused about what characterizes a low-level offender.
Sure. So low-level offenses primarily have to do with drug possession, addiction-related issues, low-level property crimes. Versus somebody who would actually cause or be a threat of physical harm to another person. So a low-level offender basically is a person who is engaging in low-level criminal activity such as drug possession, drug use, and maybe simple property crimes.
Are we talking about just misdemeanors here, or would felonies be felons or felonies? Would this be possible for this?
I think it could also include non-violent felony convictions.
Okay.
And you have to understand in Oklahoma, we have a plethora of convictions that equate to felony convictions. Governor Fallin recently issued an executive order stating that because 1 in 12 Oklahomans are now convicted felons, she went on to remove the question of are you a convicted felon from all state applications to try to make it easier for certain offenders to be able to re-enter the workforce today to get on with their life. And that statistic is startling, but it's even more attention getting when you understand that it's 10 years old. That statistic is 10 years old, so that number is even more today.
We've talked at length about the overcrowding in our jails. It's been an issue tackled not only by the governor, but by President Obama himself. We've talked about the need to reform our criminal justice system, but people are worried when they hear a convicted felon or someone that's been in jail for a misdemeanor may be able to work and not serve out their sentence. Would that incentivize crime?
Yeah, I don't think it would. Actually, I think we want to get to a point where if a person has made a mistake, that they're able to pay some sort of restitution for that mistake. And right now, our situation is that we as a taxpayer actually pay for that individual to sit in a jail cell. And I think it makes sense if that person could apply their skills, their talents in the community in a way that would be helpful and actually improve the quality of life for everyone involved. I think it makes sense for a person who does not pose a immediate threat to public safety to be able to engage in some sort of restitution to sort of pay back for the crime that they may have committed.
Does the state have to pay to insure all of these workers? And if so, how much would that cost your average taxpayer?
Sure. I think the state would ultimately be responsible for proper levels of supervision, and it wouldn't be any different than any other county worker that would be covered under a workers' comp for the particular county that the participant may be working for. So those policies should already be in place. But the counties will be responsible for maintaining proper supervision for an individual if he or she is allowed to be out in the community and working.
Have you seen proof in other states and other places that this lowers the rate of recidivism, the chance that someone will commit another crime and go back to jail? Is that what you're looking at? Is that data that is readily available?
Absolutely. There's been a number of states that have actually already engaged in policies similar to this that have proven the outcomes to be extremely successful when it comes to these low-level offenders. And you have to understand, we're trying to create a win-win situation by utilizing the talents and the gifts of that particular individual in a way that could actually benefit the community or the county, but also giving that individual a chance to begin to build a resume so that when he or she has paid his debt or her debt and served their time, they're able to re-enter the workforce and get on with their life and become a contributing, productive taxpayer within our state.